Lilies and Lilacs, Episode 4, Dragon Hunting.
Good morning, everyone. Would you like to get some breakfast before you head out?
Tessica stood in the middle of her common room, and she smiled at the group of 4 adventurers who had emerged from the upper floors of the inn. They didn't have their full travel belongings, but light backpacks, and their weapons were ready for use.
I really wish we could, but we overheard another party talking about it.
It? Talking about what?
Oh, the dragon lair. Some group found it in the mountains, and only 2 of the members came back alive. That dragon is huge.
A bunch of parties are gathering to team up, since this dragon is bigger than what many of us thought. It's really mean, too.
Oh, exciting. What color is it?
Yellow. Keep our stuff safe until we get back.
The 4 adventurers left the lobby, and Von Rad shook his head.
And they were never heard from again.
Vonrad! That's terrible. Why would you curse them like that?
I've seen folks like that come, go, and never return more times than the number of nails holding this place together. Besides, you know me. I'm chock full of stories and dark humor. Do you want to bet 10 gold on it?
I think I'm gonna go check on Zeddy.
Tessica heard a raspy chuckle coming from the old man as she walked out of the front door to the tavern. Zeddy stood outside, leaning against the building. Her eyes darted to the various out-of-towners as they strolled past Lilies and Lilacs. A small frown was on the bouncer's face, and her arms covered her chest. Tessica stood beside her.
There they go. Off to hunt a dragon.
Yep. I hope they all make it back okay. Fighting dragons is one of the toughest, scariest experiences adventurers can face.
So, have you ever hunted a dragon?
A long pause lingered between them, and Zeddy's eyes went unfocused for only a moment. She frowned.
Yeah, we did one time. Though the dragon we fought against was an adolescent purple dragon who was sick and crazed. That didn't make it any easier. The poor dragon had fallen into the center of the village in a daze, and it was disoriented and confused.
Oh wow, what happened? I understand if you don't want to talk about it. I know you don't usually talk about that time. I'm sorry if...
No, it's fine. You asked, and we're friends. My party and I had just finished a really dangerous quest, and we were in the middle of celebrating. You don't know this since you're not insane like all of them, or me. But adventuring is mostly about surviving crazy situations and the rush that comes within it.
Do you ever miss the rush?
I mean, yeah, sometimes. But mostly, I just miss my friends. Anyway, back to the story. We were celebrating when the dragon crashed in the middle of the town well. People were frantic, and the town guards weren't equipped to handle even a small dragon like that.
How small are we talking?
As large as a carriage.
That's a small dragon?
Yes, you poor NPC. Dragons are huge, even as babies.
What did you call me? An NPC?
Oh yes, that's an adventuring term for people like you. NPC, non-peril-seeking civilian. I mean, to be fair, you call us out-of-towners.
That's fair. So, did your party fight the dragon?
Yeah, we did. I almost died. But we managed to defeat it, survive another harrowing event, and the town loved us. The point I'm making is that even with the dragon sick and out of its mind, it was extremely tough. A fully grown dragon with experience will be a nightmare.
A man approached them, and as soon as Tessica saw him, her face scrunched up.
The dragon won't be a problem for my party, m'lady. And hello, oh sweet barmaid. I never got your name.
That's 'cause I didn't give it.
Zeddy stepped between Tessica and the man.
And that's tavern owner. Is there something you need?
The man stepped back and grinned. A long sword hung at his hip.
Easy there, m'lady. Somehow we got off to a bad start, and that makes me weep. My name is Mrom Vanter, expert swordsman and debonair stranger. I just wanted to bid the lady farewell and promise to slay the dragon for her.
Listen here, buddy. I don't know if this is just your personality or what, but you're coming at me in a way I don't like. Stay safe and best of luck, but please don't do anything on my account.
For just a moment, Mrom frowned. But soon another jolly smirk replaced his brief and fleeting discontent.
I love when they play hard to get.
She's not playing hard to get. She's not interested, you jackass.
Sure.
Mrom walked back into the crowd and then strolled away from them.
See you very soon, tavern owner.
Tessica growled a little as the creepy out-of-towner disappeared from view.
No offense, but I hope he gets eaten by that dragon.
Me too. If he comes back and bothers you, I'll kick his ass.
Goddess, thank you. Hey, I was wondering if you were going to come in today. The adventure's all cleared out. With them gone, it's kind of quiet.
Yeah, it is nice to breathe. There were so many out-of-towners that I'm nearly out of my stock. But I made some great gold, though.
Oh, must be nice. You're so lucky.
Noswald sat at another table right beside where Fanica was seated. He had come in before Fanica, perhaps 20 minutes before, and he had already consumed a full pint of rock gnome lager. He frowned at the table.
Did you make any gold while they were here?
I made some, but more than a few of my magical services were too expensive. I lowered my prices a tad after what you said, and it still wasn't enough. These damned adventurers are too entitled. They want me to practically give my enchantments away.
Tessica caught Fanica's eyes and her slight frown, and she had to stifle a laugh.
Listen, I totally understand how you feel. Everyone in town knows you're quite talented. It's just these out-of-towners don't know. You're gonna have to reel them in a little more, and then you'll be able to charge your worth.
Why should I have to lower my prices further? It isn't fair.
You're whining like a child. Stop it. It all boils down to one question. Do you want customers or not?
Well, of course I want them. I wouldn't be in business for myself if I didn't.
Well, then suck it up and adapt. If you don't, then you're gonna fail completely and end up having to close forever. I'm not trying to sound mean, but I've been where you are. Pity parties are the worst places to be trapped in.
I'm not in a pity party.
Actually, you kind of are. Just listening to you now, I can tell it's gotten worse. I feel bad for you. Your magical items and enchantments are amazing.
Yes, they are. You are an excellent craftsman. But no offense, you are a terrible salesman. It's okay. It's a skill you can work on if you're up for it. Are you willing to work for it?
Yes, I am. But I don't know where to start.
Maybe you can tier your items with different discounts? Have easier to make or less powerful items in one grouping and price range, medium tier stuff at a smaller discount, and then your best stuff at normal price.
That might work. But again, I don't know where to start with that. I mean, I may be a little prideful when it comes to my items and enchantments. How can I best determine the best course of action without my ego screwing it up?
Fanica patted the seat next to her.
I'm hungry. If you buy me dinner in another round, we can discuss that very topic. I'm willing to help you see past your ego, and maybe you could help me by giving me some items to sell in my shop. For a commission, of course. I'm great at marketing stuff.
Really? You'd be willing to help me?
Trust me, if Fanica is willing to help you, then you're in great hands. Oh, how about this? I'll give you the next 3 rounds and Fanica's usual for half price. Plus whatever you want to eat. What do you say?
Thank you. That sounds great.
Tessica walked up to the bar and told Mordon what to bring Fanica and Noswald. She studied the pair of them for a moment and grinned. Tessica was never one to stare, and so it was just a brief glance. She peered over at Vonrad, who was in view behind the counter at the inn. He must have been looking around as well, because they caught one another's eyes. He smiled and gave her a thumbs up. Even with the adventurers gone, all of the rooms were paid for. The door opened up, and the half-fey cleric Celerin waltzed in. A small smirk was on her lips as she moved up to Tessica with quick steps.
Greetings, Tessica. I hope that you are well today.
Oh, well as I can be, because, you know, dragon. How are you today?
Oh, I am wonderful! And it's good that you mentioned the dragon.
Celerin pulled out a rolled-up piece of parchment and then gestured it to Tessica.
If I give you 5 golden coins, may you please hang this on your quest board?
Tessica took the parchment, and she began unrolling it.
What is it? Dragon blood? 50 gold a vial! Pfft, wow.
Yes, adventurers are always bottling up weird things like that, so surely someone will have vials to spare.
Zeddy was across the room playing cards with some of the locals. And yet she perked her head up.
It's true! One time I took 3 vials of Minotaur blood. I sold it for 20 gold.
Ugh. But why?
Zeddy merely shrugged and then returned to her game.
Sure. I can post it. However, can I ask, what do you want with dragon's blood?
The smile on Celerin's face never fell, and her eyes twinkled with a strange sort of intent.
Oh, for multiple reasons, really. So, will you hang this notice then? I had the same notice hanging up all over town.
Sure, I can hang it for you.
Excellent! Thank you!
The cleric pulled out 5 coins and then handed them to Tessica. She grinned and walked away. However, as she opened the door, Celerin stopped and grinned at Tessica again.
You have always been so kind to me. When the shadows swallow the irrational light of the misguided, you shall find a haven from eternal twilight.
Before Tessica could ask what Celerin meant, the cleric closed the door behind her.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I trouble you for a moment?
Tessica glanced up from the spot where she had been wiping. The man who spoke to her had been the gentleman who had reviewed the quest board before leaving several days ago. The man smiled.
Oh, sure. What can I do for you, sir? It's been a while. I figured you might have gone off with the adventurers that left earlier this week.
Oh no, I'm much too old to do more dragon hunting.
Are you sure? You look spry enough to wrestle a worm to the ground.
You are quite kind. At any rate, it's not what you can do for me, but what I can do for you.
Oh?
The man reached into his side pouch and pulled out a folded piece of paper.
You wrote me this letter complaining against the regional representative of the Adventurers Guild, yes? I have been in town investigating the matter.
Wait, you're with the guild?
Well, I used to be. I've been retired for almost 10 years, but my longtime friend, Ferenc, told you how to find me, as well as writing me a letter himself. Well, I have concluded my investigation today.
And?
I have found that the current representative, Mr. Sason, is being unfair to you. With that being said, I'm going to remain in town. and I have written a strong letter to the guildmaster herself.
You sent a letter to the guildmaster?
Yes. In addition to mistreating you, Mr. Sison has been doing other inappropriate behaviors related to his position. I would like to remain in town to protect you while we wait for his replacement.
Replacement? So he's going to be fired? Yes. Are you staying in case he retaliates against me? I may be small, but I'm not afraid of him.
Yes, my dear. Actually, I'm curious. Was your grandmother Tessica Oliver?
Yes. How did you know that? Did you know her?
Yes, I did. Quite well. We were in rival adventuring parties once upon a time. She was a dear friend, and she stabbed me on multiple occasions during fights.
Tessica chuckled lightly as she beheld the man with a more critical eye.
I would love to hear stories about her from way back when. Can we trade stories for food?
Of course, I love...
Mordon burst into the tavern.
Tess, it's done! They did it!
What's done? Who did what?
The adventurers! They killed the dragon!